Call to order the Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022 council meeting. Can I have a moment of silence and a pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, can I have roll call, please?
Hakeem Jones.
Here.
Rebecca Smith. Tiffany Henley. Here. Dustin Queenan.
Here.
Rashad Bates.
Here.
Heather Lewis.
Here.
Thomas LaPera.
Here. Can I have a motion to approve the previous minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion passes. Executive session announcement. We did have an executive session tonight on a legal matter.
Yeah, it was a discussion of real estate.
Real estate. And we'll go right into presentations with the proclamations recognizing our Norristown area high school athletes and the wonderful achievements they had this year. I'll start out, I'm going to have Tiffany Henley read the first two proclamations.
Call somebody else.
Yeah, I think if you get him to kind of come up, because, so he can get him on camera.
The track team, you want the track team to come up?
So you have first. Yeah.
Yeah, if you get him to maybe come in here so that,
Yep, y'all can get on camera, track team. Just you? Oh, well, they had to send one person. They sent the right one.
Proclamation to honor Norristown Area High School indoor track athletes. The Norristown Municipal Council honors people and groups that have excelled in endeavors that enrich the Norristown community. And whereas the Norristown Area High School athletes who participated in indoor track have demonstrated exceptional athletic prowess during the winter 2021 through 22 sports season with head coach Milton Williams. And whereas Jaden Brown broke the state meet record in the 60-meter dash at the PTFCA Indoor Track Championships and broke the school record in the 200-meter from 21.50 seconds to 21.36 seconds. And whereas Mr. Brown placed second at the New Balance National Indoors in the 60-meter race, creating a new school record of 6.68 seconds. And whereas at the 2022 Marine Corps Holiday Classic in New York, first-year runner Dante Bell placed first in the 200-meter race. And whereas Siani Flynn Cook earned a medal in a 300-meter dash at the Track and Field Coaches Association of Greater Philadelphia's December 2021 meet. And now, therefore, the Norristown Municipal Council recognizes and honors the achievements of our local athletic programs and hereby proclaims May 3rd, 2022, Norristown Area High School Indoor Track Athletes Day. Proclaimed this third day of May 2022.
Tiff, before you go on, can I just add that the Norristown Area High School track coaching staff is staffed by former Norristown track and field athletes and champions, and you know, it's just our kids are coming back to give back to the kids. And so I just wanted to put that out there that Coach Ya, I'm biased because that's my daughter, and Jerome and a lot of the other coaches, they ran in high school and they were champions themselves, and I'm just happy to see them back here raising champions still. So thank you.
Now we can have the varsity cheerleaders, coaches, or
Tell them at the box.
coaching meeting on it. Proclamation to honor Norristown Area High School varsity cheerleaders. Whereas the Norristown Municipal Council honors people and groups that have excelled in endeavors that enrich the Norristown community, and whereas the Norristown Area High School varsity cheerleaders have demonstrated a strong season of teamwork and athletic prowess during the fall 2021 sports season, and whereas the team excelled during the 2021-22 school year, led by coaching staff Autumn Hudson, Jennifer Hudson, and Tori Hudson, and whereas the team was made up of students Haley Amos, Maya Brown, Tamaya Brown, Neerlin Carmona, Mathia Clay, sorry if I'm pronouncing the names wrong, Kayla Coley, Ariana Green, Jordan Guerrera, Amanda Jones, Joshua Julio Perez, Hope Rose Mott, Emma McGinnis, Jocelyn Rose, Janiyah Scott, Devin Stein, Jaden Stenson, Ayana Wilson, and Jocene Wright. And whereas the varsity cheerleaders cheered their way to take the District 1 championship, placed 4th in the PIAA's 2022 Competitive Spirit Championships, and 10th in the National High School Cheerleading Championship in Orlando, Florida in February 2022. And now, therefore, the Norristown Municipal Council recognizes and honors the achievements of our local athletic programs and hereby proclaims May 3rd, 2022, Norristown Area High School Varsity Cheerleaders Day, proclaimed this 3rd day of May 2022. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Kevin gave me one for the rest. And I just have one more to read for the wrestling team. Is anybody here from the wrestling team?
I just want to say the cheerleading coaches are also Norristown graduates as well as most of the basketball coaches.
Thank you, guys. The Municipal Council would also like to commend the Norristown Area High School wrestling team and the achievements of Chris Carter, Doug Cawley, TJ Picard, and Eric Witt for being named to the All Pioneer Athletic Conference second team. Congratulations.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. I'm going to ask that our soccer program pull up with me. Norristown High School's boys varsity soccer program. I'll first start off by congratulating the boys varsity soccer team. First time in a long time that the boys soccer program went into the playoffs and beat some of our major teams locally, all headed by Coach Jason Pettick. The Norristown Municipal Council honors people and groups that have excelled in endeavors that enrich the Norristown community. And the Norristown Area High School boys varsity soccer team has demonstrated a strong season of teamwork and athletic prowess during the fall of 2021 sports season. And the team continued the title-winning 2020 to 2021 school year season under head coach Jason Pettick. And the team was made up of students, and again, excuse me if I mispronounce any names, Jose Andrade, Andrew Baleon, Gabriel Barroso, Yasmel Carmona, Jesus Carmona, Renato Castilla, Cesar Coronado Jr., Maynor Garcia, Gustavo Garza, Luis Gomez, Luis Gonzalez, Eric Gonzalez, Alex Gonzalez, Diego Guzman, Giovanni Hernandez, Jonathan Hernandez, Adan Morales, Jimmy Moreno, Alvin Munoz Cervantes, Brett Murphy, Uzel Ortiz, Carlos Perez, Brandon Pasil, Brian Romero, Alex Rosas, Richard Rubin, and Brandon Torres. And the team went 11-7 for the season, advancing to the first round of the PIAA District Playoffs. And the Norristown Municipal Council recognizes and honors the achievements of our local athletic program, and hereby proclaims May 3rd, 2022, Norristown Area High School Boys Varsity Soccer Team Day, proclamated this 3rd day of May 2022. Congratulations. Oh, we're gonna take a picture. Congratulations, boys soccer. And another thing I'll add that the sports community of Norristown has always been a strong one. You know, myself being a former athlete here, growing up in Norristown, many things come about when you guys as student athletes go out in the community and you rock the blue and white and you perform. A lot of unity is created during those moments. A lot of pride is formed. A lot of relationships are built. A lot of beefs are broken, and you guys continue to make us proud. So I want to bring up the boys varsity basketball team. And I'll ask that you stand behind me because I'm a little... I think I stopped throwing in 8th grade. Congratulations. All right. Coach Johnson, come on up. Also want to make mention that Coach Dana Johnson was awarded the PA Prep High School Basketball Coach of the Year for the region. Our coaches are also Norristown product, Norristown alum. One North Penn guy, I won't say it too loud, but he loves us all the same. The Norristown Municipal Council honors people and groups that have excelled in endeavors that enrich the Norristown community, and the Norristown Area High School Boys Varsity Basketball Team has demonstrated a strong season of teamwork and athletic prowess during the winter of 2021-22 sports season, and the squad excelled during the 2021-22 school year, led by head coach Dana Binky Johnson, and the team was made up of students Alex D. Michelle, John Dinolfi, Roddy Gaiman III, Zakai Gomez, Andrew Gordon, Makai Green, Dana Johnson, Myron Kirklew, Righteous Mitchell, Gregory Mobley, Rayshawn Stinson, Quentin Watson III, Nasir Williams, and Jaden Wise. And a winning regular season record of 16-6, earned a 2nd place finish in the PAC Final Four, a 12th seed placement and appearance in the District 1 6A championship game, and an appearance in the Sweet 16 round of the PIAA 6A playoff in March 2022. And the Norristown Municipal Council recognizes and honors the achievements of our local athletic programs and hereby proclaims May 3rd, 2022, Norristown Area High School Varsity Boys Basketball Team Day, proclaimed this 3rd day of May 2022. Congratulations, fellas. Take a picture real quick. All right, we'll take a picture. Thank you. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you, sir.
If we could, can we have all the coaches come up and take a picture with council as well?
Can you come over there?
Yeah, why don't you come over this way? Come this way. Kevin, you got him? Kevin.
I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
Me and Pink, I'm here talking.
We definitely want to get the principal in.
Dr. McGriffey, come on over, please.
Can I just sit down there?
We will acknowledge our high school principal, also school board member, Mrs. John in the back. Sharon, come on over.
We got any more?
You, Sharon. She said no. No, you said my name. Let's go. Come on up.
If you want to come up, you might as well just come up. Wow. It'll just make it easier.
Say go town.
Go town. Thank you. Thank you so
With that, we'll move into announcements. Council, any announcements?
I got one.
Mr. Jones?
Yep. Yeah, kind of wanted to give Chief Wood kudos. The police department, school district had a very successful job fair. Over 40 employers. You're up early. You might have saw Bob Kelly on Fox 29 News at the high school. And just thank you, Chief, for having a vision and thinking of something creative to do that not only helps the Norristown municipal kids, but also kids who attend the school district. One other announcement I wanted to share is that the Norristown Rotary is celebrating 100 years in existence. So there will be a dinner on the 12th. I'll make sure I share that out with colleagues and community. But the Norristown Rotary has been existing for 100 years, and you know, they wanted us to thank us for the support that we've given them over the years.
Is that May 12th?
May 12th, Sunday, May 12th. I'll make sure that that email gets sent out to folks.
Any other announcements? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, any public comment?
Yes. Adjournment Robinson. Here.
Good evening.
Yes.
Yes.
Good evening. My name is Adjournment Robinson. I'm from Basin Street, West Basin Street. I was here the last meeting. I just wanted to say thank you for the swift police patrol that came on the block. However, we're still having issues with, how can I say this? The residents, the homeowners that live on the block. The parking there's really no parking there. So they're having issues with, I believe some of the neighbors receive parking tickets, but they have nowhere to park. Where we live at Basin Street, we have a new apartment building built over there. The hospital was knocked down, so the residents, the homeowners that live there, they have nowhere to park. So I know I came here and I complained about the parking because where I live, the curve, all the cars are there, it's being moved, everything was done good, but then it's still, the parking is nowhere for the cars to go down the street. So I just wanted to come to say maybe we need some resolution for the parking on Basin Street. I don't know. More signs, is a lot of speed, and I have a neighbor with me. She lives there also. It's speeding, but I just want to say thank you for the officers that came out. They actually came the next day. And they came, they knocked on the doors, they put papers in the mailbox, but some people are still parking, and I don't think that they're parking just to be to disobey the law. They have nowhere to put their vehicles. So it is really an issue on the West 100 block of Basin Street. It really is a major, major issue.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Victoria Gonzalez.
Yes. Hi, my name is Victoria Gonzalez, and I live on West Basin. And I'm coming here today. I received a ticket However, when I get home, there's absolutely no parking. Some people are rolled up enough to where they leave a gap to where you can't fit in front of them or behind them. I have an injection in my back. I have arthritis in the spine, so I can't walk that far. So for me to try to bring groceries from up the block, it's very brutal on me. And I just have my little one. She can't help at all. I was parking on the left side, and it wasn't to obey the law, but when I got home 4:45, there was no parking. And I thought with me having a shorter commute, I can get home and get a spot, but I can't. And God forbid if I have to run out to the market to grab something, I'm coming back, I don't have a spot. So, as I said before, I am law-abiding, I respect the law, I appreciate what you guys are doing, but the parking on Basin is just, it's horrible. We can't really leave our houses in fear of losing a spot. And my fear is that it's gonna make problems arise between the neighbors to where we're fighting over parking spots. And that's one thing I don't wanna see happen. But I do wanna say in closing that I really appreciate the pavement being paved, because it was a divot in our road. And I thought for sure somebody's car was gonna get stuck. And I do agree to piggyback on what Mr. Jewett said, we do need maybe a speed bump or some more patrolling coming down through Basin, because they fly. And my fear is my child or another child getting hit. And we did have someone get hit on Easter, so if we could do something about that, it'd be much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments from the audience? Seeing none, we move into police. Resolution number 22. What's that?
The police chief just stepped up.
Okay. Do you want me to skip you? Chief, resolution 22-26, please.
All right, so motion to approve request for disabled parking spaces. The purpose is to establish handicap parking spaces at the following addresses: 911 West Washington Street, 851 George Street, 522 Noble Street, 1023 Cherry Street. Residents at these locations have medical conditions that impact their mobility. So our recommendation is that we approve these requests, and once they're approved, Public Works should be tasked with erecting and removing handicapped parking signs at requested locations.
Council, any questions? Do I have a motion to approve resolution number 22-26?
So moved.
Second. Madam Secretary.
Hakeem Jones.
Aye.
Tiffany Henley.
Aye.
Dustin Queenan.
Aye.
Rashad Bates.
Aye.
Heather Lewis.
Aye.
Thomas LaPera.
Aye, the ayes have it, resolution passes. Mr. Jones, resolution number 22-27.
Thank you, Mr. President. Council, Resolution 22-27 is a resolution requesting council to authorize contract with the Panoni Engineering, the municipal engineer, in the amount of $29,300 for professional services related to Poley Park improvement project for skate park construction. Just by way of a little quick history, council, as you recall, you appropriated about $1.1 million in funding last year for this skate park project over at Poley Park. We had hoped that we could actually try to fast track this through this Keystone process, but unfortunately found out because it's federal government funds, we got to do it the old-fashioned way. And the first part of doing it the old-fashioned way is that we need to get our municipal engineer to do surveying work and geotechnical work related to the site, so that we can include that in an RFP that we put out for bids for both design and construction. And so, if council approves this, the municipal engineer will go ahead, undertake that work, then draft the RFP, put it out for bid. We'll come back with you with bids for design and construction for the project. Once we get the designer on board, one of the tasks that designer has to do with the team is to go out and do all the community input in making get community, skate community, and other residents involvement in the final design of a project to get in front of you guys for your final approval. I think I shared with you all that Jimmy Gorecki was in town last month, met with myself and the engineer on site, loved the site. It's bigger than he remembers, so he's really excited about it, and the potential designers and contractors to build it excited about being able to put in a bid. So this will officially get that process started. And we have the municipal engineer here, Ted Dimitrik, if any of you have any questions. I pointed out that the geotech study would be about $9,500, infiltration would be $5,500, utility scan $1,800 per day, a perimeter boundary survey of the parcel, which is about 1.91 acres. It was $4,000. The topographic survey is $7,500, and then to conduct a phase 1 assessment of the site, the environmental assessment for the site, according to the recognized standards, would be about $2,800, all totaling that $29,300 amount.
Thank you. Council, any questions?
And I think, Randall, you may have touched on it, because I was going to ask, has there been any preliminary assessments done? But it sounds like the preliminary assessment's going to be in this thing. So what's the timeline? Because I know we're anxious to get this going, and with the weather and things like that, there's some timing and things like that. So will this put us behind, or how long will this survey and assessment take before we can actually go to construction?
Ted can.
Thank you, Crandall. Thank you, council members. As soon as we get that notice to proceed, as far as surveying, we can jump on that within the next couple of weeks. Same thing with geotechnical. The environmental assessment, we can jump on that even sooner than that. So, and getting reports back to you, I would say in the next several weeks, that could be accomplished.
Do you foresee like anything coming up that might kind of stall this program, or kind of take us off of, just given the history of the area?
Surveying's pretty straightforward. We're just going to survey the existing topography, any existing features. Geotechnical, they're going to do boring of the ground. They're going to do 4 bore tests. So if they do those tests, hopefully everything comes up fine, but you never know. Maybe there might be past fill experience or something like that in that site that they might have to take into account when they're doing, structural skate park here. They might have to do some additional structural improvements to be able to have that skate park there. Environmental assessment, the only thing that could come up is if there's, some chemicals, environmental issue with that site, but we don't anticipate anything to come up. But with that said, though, until we get out there, then yeah, we'll know. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Council, any other questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve resolution number 22-27?
Motion.
Second.
Madam Secretary.
Hakeem Jones.
Aye.
Tiffany Henley.
Aye.
Dustin Queenan.
Aye.
Rashad Bates.
Aye.
Heather Lewis.
Aye.
Thomas LaParrot.
Aye, the ayes have it. Resolution passes. Thank you. With that, we'll roll into departmental reports. Start with Chief Wood.
All right, good evening. So everyone is aware we had a double shooting over the weekend. Both young men died. I can't go into it because it's still under active investigation. So if you have any questions you want to ask me one-on-one, you can, but I don't want to speak about that out in the open. Overall, we're doing well. The biggest issues facing the department and the town is auto thefts and theft from autos. One of the issues, people leaving their cars running, people still in the cars. We've done, education, flyers, Twitter, talk to the media. People still continue to leave their cars running. A couple of young guys we have arrested were like part of a ring pretty much, still in the car. So it's slowed down somewhat, but it's still too high, and hopefully get a grasp on it based on things we're doing, prevention, education, and arrest. What else? Calls for service have increased 2% compared to last year at this time, so we're pretty steady. I thought it would be a little higher because of COVID, but it's pretty steady compared to this year and last year. We currently have 4 vacancies, and 2 more officers are retiring in the next 5 weeks. Another will probably take a job in Upper Dublin. So civil service is scheduled to meet tomorrow to certify the list. We have an active list for applicants. We expect to hire 6 or 7 people in June and July. So as I told you back in our retreat earlier this year, the departments are starting to flip because a lot of guys who have time want to start to leave, and sometime abruptly. Community initiatives. Ingrid Parker, our Director of Police and Mental Health Collaboration. She's planning an event at the Rec Center. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so that'll be the first time we're doing that. We're getting our partners together to talk to people in the community about what services we offer, and also other partners in the community as well who have services that are available to them. A lot of times people don't know what services they have. They don't have any money or health insurance, but my partners offer them services for free. Also, our Youth Advisory Council, which is kids from high school between 14 and 18, we met for the first time April 23rd. We'll meet about every 6 weeks, talk about contemporary issues. They took them to the movies. They had Chick-fil-A. The kids really enjoyed it, so it was the first time, and it'll be every 6 weeks. Also, something else we started to increase transparency, also let people know what's going on in the community. We started a weekly crime bulletin that comes out every Monday morning. People can see where the robberies are, the shootings, and the theft from autos, just so they can be aware and use caution in those areas. That completes my presentation. Anyone have any questions or concerns?
Council, any questions?
And when's the mental health?
It'll be May the 25th at the Rec Center.
Question.
Councilman Jones?
Yeah, Chief Wood, coming from Philadelphia, did you, with the school year ending and summer approaching, do you have any connections or relationships with school districts? Or is there something that we might implement here in our Norristown Police Department?
I think a lot of the things we do are pretty good. Like the play streets, we're going to do that. The job fair was good, and also the Youth Advisory Council. I know a lot of people I talk to talk about bringing sports. We don't have like football teams and things like that for kids to do. I know Tiffany has, the councilwoman Henley has the basketball league, which I think those kind of things keep kids active and off the streets. So I think that all that will help.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Chief O'Donnell.
Good evening, Council. The operational summary for the month of March for the fire department includes the following. Emergency dispatch is 117. Our average response time was 4 minutes and 6 seconds. Our busiest time frame is Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. Departmental training classes we hosted was 55 with a total of 755 hours in training. We had no injuries for the month. Community risk reduction, we conducted 88 commercial fire inspections, held 24 public education events, visited 83 homes to install smoke detectors, of which we installed 43 smoke and carbon monoxide alarms during the month of March. And that's it.
I have a question. So I walked down to Riverfront Park last week, I guess, when it was nice with my grandson, and there was some fire water rescue. I guess they were testing out the new engine on the boat, and he was like really excited. So I was like, oh, wouldn't that be nice if we got to know if it wasn't an interference when you all were down there kind of putting the boats in the water and doing drills and things like that. Is that something that the community could come and kind of observe, or, the little kids seeing the boats and things like that? I thought it would be pretty cool. And I was talking to, some of the firefighters, and they said like 6 times a year, I guess, or something, that you guys do some training on the water.
Yeah, it said when the weather breaks, right, they like to get out and, exercise the equipment, right? It's familiarize themselves with the, because it's not, we're using it every day, so it's important that the staff especially gets out and uses that equipment. So all 3 platoons have to rotate themselves through water rescue training. As the weather.
Have some fun if they had an audience. So is that something that you can put out to the
Absolutely.
community, that we can just so that you know that you guys are going to be down there and what time?
Yeah, sometimes it's it's unannounced, right? Whatever the training is, right? So, but the ones that we know that we're going to be planning, right, we'll certainly get that word out.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I have.
Council, any other questions? I just got one. What do you think that we could do to prevent fires like that are happening in Philadelphia, in the, more older communities, the fires seem to light up pretty quick. They had a lot of loss of life, Fairmount, what happened up in the Bronx, what types of things could we look at?
So fire's everyone's fight, right? That's our national theme or slogan to combat that, right? We need everybody has to have the same awareness and want to make it fire safe, right? There's a lot of things that we could do. In Norristown, there's 3 things we like to hone in on, right? Working smoke alarms save lives, no 2 ways out of your home, and once you're out, stay out, right? And we know those 3 things, if you adjust and live by those 3 principles, right, you're going to survive a fire, right? But there's other things that the community can do too, right? And some of it's legislative, some of it, right, is legislative here at the local level, some is at the state level, right? But there's a lot of initiatives you can do. But really, the things that we want our residents to know is early detection of a fire. It's going to save folks from dying, right? So as soon as you hear that smoke alarm, right, get out and stay out, right? No 2 ways out of every home that you're in. Make sure you have working smoke alarms, right? We go out and every month, right, each of the platoons have to do a neighborhood canvass. After every fire, we do a neighborhood canvass. And I think our fire fatality rate is down so low in our communities because of the good work that not so much the fire department's doing, but the community's doing, right? They're recognizing the fact that they don't have working smoke alarms and they're asking for them, right? And staff is going out and putting them in 24 hours a day, right, 7 days a week to put it in working smoke alarms, right? We know that they save lives, right? It's probably one of the only things in our home outside of our computer or cell phone that's working 24 hours a day, right? So, they're important, and at the end of the day, they certainly make a difference, right? I've seen where, people have survived the fire, right, or their property wasn't damaged as much because of working smoke alarms, right? So at the end of the day, they are probably, the biggest reason why, communities like ours don't have more tragedies, right, is because of, working smoke alarms, right? But, we need everybody to have that same want to not have a fire, right? And sometimes, we catch a fire early in its stages, right? We can get in and make quick work of it. It's those ones that there's a delay in calling 911, right? That the fire tends to grow in size, right? A fire's going to double in size every minute, right? So if we do nothing to a fire in 2 minutes, 2 rooms are on fire, right? And so on and so forth, right? So it's important that early warning, early detection, coupled with having enough personnel, enough equipment, right? But other things are legislative, right? They're, sprinkling, right? The sprinklings put out fires, right? And there's a lot of fact that that sprinklers save lives, sprinklers put out fires, right? But there's still a lot of work to be done, right?
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, thanks, Chief.
Yes, sir.
We'll go into Mr. Adenabo. Coops. Or, no. I just fired you.
He's gonna make something up right
Mr. Singh.
Thank you, Mr. President. Council, I just have 3 key updates for you tonight. The first one is I just wanted to discuss about our lead poisoning prevention and lead hazard control ordinance, just provide a quick update. So as you all are aware, we passed that ordinance back in November of last year, 2021, and that ordinance went into effect in the beginning of this year on January 1st. And I'm happy to report that as of today, we have over 100 certified lead safe and lead free properties in Norristown that are ensuring that children are living in lead free and lead safe homes. So I wanted to share that success with you all tonight. And because of that, HUD actually reached out to Ms. Jane and Mr. Jones and myself, because they're actually recognizing HUD's our ordinance as a model ordinance that HUD actually wants to share with other municipalities in Pennsylvania. And they're actually holding a peer event later this month where other Pennsylvania local municipal officials and health departments will be hearing from the panelists. They've invited Ms. Jane, Mr. Jones, and myself to talk about the ordinance itself, the importance, what the implementation process was, and then the success that we're having with the ordinance. So I did want to share that with you all tonight. The next update I have is regarding our contractor license ordinance. As you know, that's another new ordinance that we adopted back in August of last year, which went into effect the beginning of this year. And I just wanted to report to council that we have now issued over 355 licenses following the new requirements and criteria for licensing in Norristown. And just a quick breakdown of that, about 59% of those licenses, or 210, are residential, and 145 or 41% of them are for commercial work. So it's matching with the demographics of the properties we have in Norristown, which is about pretty much the same about the residential and commercial properties that we have. And then the last update I have, which I wanted to share, is that we're continuing to be extremely busy with our property transfer inspections. So from January 1 of this year till April 30th, we've performed over 324 property transfer inspections. So that's actually up about 16% almost from this time last year. And it's actually almost 43% increase from pre-pandemic numbers, so from 2019. So I'm sure Kathy can attest with the number of tax certs that are being issued, and Ms. Jane with the number of use registrations. It's extremely busy. A lot of properties are changing hands. A lot of owner-occupied properties are being purchased. A lot of investment properties are being purchased, and we're really busy right now with doing all of the inspections. And one of the #1 violations that we do find during those inspections, unfortunately, is a basic life safety item like smoke detectors. So it's really important that we are performing these inspections, and this is one of the benefits to make sure that when people are moving into owner-occupied properties, or if it's going to be an investment property, that our residents are living in safe homes. Those are just the updates that I have, and if you have any questions, I will be more than glad to answer. Thank you.
Of course, I got questions. So back to the safe lead-free. Are you keeping track, or are you working with the health department to see like who's utilizing the grant to kind of make those safety changes?
So we actually, that portion we haven't been communicating directly with the health department or the county with. Anytime a property owner or realtor or landlord reaches out to us, we direct them to the resource, to the county, and then they're able to move them through the process. We're actually not that hands-on during that process, but I'm sure if I reach out to them, they will be able to provide us some information, and I'll gladly bring that over to the next council meeting.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing who's using that. And can we charge HUD a fee for using our ordinance?
That would be a Mr. Jones question.
Mr. Jones?
Well, maybe they'll get rid of that 504 loan.
$5 million.
Yeah, that 504 loan thing.
Work on
Yeah,
that. Jane, y'all get together.
I see with the grants.
We still got a trip if they'll ever open DC up for mission trips again.
Yeah, right.
Very good, thank you.
Councilman Jones.
Yep, thanks for your report. You said there are a lot of new licenses coming into the municipality. Do you know if some of the folks who have done work historically, do they fall in some of those numbers, or?
Absolutely, and I can definitely have some more detailed information at the next council meeting. So I know the ordinance itself, it's a few pages long, but as everybody may remember, so for like the residential contractor licensing, nothing really changed. It's the same process that we had previously. You know, you would fill out the application, you would provide us proof of, general liability insurance, workers' comp, or if you don't have any workers, you would give us the exemption form. The only difference truly this year is that we're being more diligent with making sure that we are verifying that the contractor that's registering in Norristown is that they have their business privilege license to ensure that we collect the appropriate, the finance department can follow up appropriately and all of that stuff. So that's the only real difference with the residential licenses, is to make sure that they have their BPL number. And surprisingly, there have been some contractors that we identified that have been working in Norristown for maybe 7 years, 5 years, 3 years, and they actually never had their licensed through Berkheimer, and now we're making sure that we do have that information, and I'm sure you all know why that's extremely important to make sure we're collecting that. Now, regarding the commercial licenses, there is a change in that, and what we're making sure is that the people that are working in commercial buildings, whether it's for mechanical work, electrical, and plumbing, and then also for any type of fire safety, fire suppression, fire alarms, that they're duly qualified and knowledgeable. So they would provide the same basic information, the insurances and things like that. But now we're making sure, like other jurisdictions that are similar to our demographics, with the type of buildings we have, the type of fire incidents we have, we want to make sure that the property owner's investments are protected, and that qualified people are working in those buildings, and that the residents that are occupying those buildings, that they're occupying in safe property. So we're making sure that the person that is doing the electrical work or the plumbing work, they actually have an understanding of what they're doing in that building. So we are now requiring that either they show us proof of a license from a jurisdiction where they actually took the trades exam, or they can take the national ICC trades exam, and once they have that examination passed, they would show us proof of that, and then we would issue them the license. So our licensing requirements are actually a lot easier and simpler than other jurisdictions, because they even have more criteria where they'll say you have to be an apprentice for X number of years, and then you have to get your journey person's license, and then you can qualify to be a master plumber or master electrician. So for us, we just want to make sure that you understand that there are code requirements, that there are regulations, and that you do the work in a safe manner. So if you show us proof that you passed the test, that's all we ask for. So it's really a very simple process, but there are some contractors that maybe had a license in 2021 that have not been able to obtain it right now because maybe they don't have their OSHA 30 card, or they haven't been able to get their Norristown business privilege license, or one, or any number of factors. But I'll definitely have more detailed information for you at the next meeting, Councilman.
Council, any other questions? I just have one. Were you planning on releasing a list of contractors that were licensed, and what the timetable on that would be?
Sure. So I know that's a desire that a few council people have reached out to Mr. Jones and myself directly, and we're actually currently working with the Municipal Solicitor's Office. They're actually working on putting together a legal disclaimer for us. That way we can put it on the municipal website that this is for informational purposes only, that the person that's hiring these contractors have to do their due diligence and get their insurances and all that type of stuff, pretty much to protect the municipality, and Mr. Kilkenny would be able to share more about that. But once we have that legal disclaimer, we will be posting the list, and we'll probably be updating the website every 2 weeks with the latest contractors that are registered and licensed. And then this way it'll be easier for our property owners, the business owners, the landlords, and the realtors to be able to find licensed contractors.
Thank you. Seeing no more questions, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.